The Rachio 3 smart water system is really a sprinkler controller for your house, but it's more than just a sprinkler controller. This thing is smart, and when I say smart, it understands the weather patterns, it understands whether you need to water your grass or not. So while other neighbors might be wasting water and having their sprinklers on while it's pouring down rain, this thing is smart enough to know to not use your water, not to turn on the sprinkler system, and just reserve it until your yard actually needs it. Okay, so this is the old sprinkler control unit. This is a controller from Rainbird, which is a very popular brand. If we open up this cover here, we'll see that this is the Rainbird ESP modular unit. So with this unit here, you can see this dial is a little bit complicated. Looking forward to getting that replaced with the app that comes with the Rachio controller. And in order to determine how many zones we have with this system before we replace the unit with the old one, we just need to open up this other cover here. And you can see that there's these different modular units here. And you can tell that there's 5 zones in use right now. So since this is a 5-zone unit, we can get by with the 8-zone Rachio controller. You don't have to go with the 16-zone. So basically what we'll do now is we'll document each zone, and we'll see what sprinklers turn on where, and we'll be ready to set up the new unit. Okay, so in this specific unit, in order to change the zones, what you need to do is you need to change the dial to the zone that you want. Hold down manual start. The valve number will flash when it's selected. Okay, turn it back to auto, and then press manual start again, and then I'll switch the zone. After you change the zone, go back out to the yard and then document what zone is doing what, where the sprinkler heads are located in your yard. And so that way you'll know how to map it back to the Rachio unit and program that correctly in the application. Okay, now that we've mapped out all of the zones, what you want to do is you want to make sure you document what color wire goes to which zone. So like here you can see underneath, maybe you can see that, it actually maps out zones 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and on this module looks like zone 5. So just document, so you need to document what color each line corresponds to, so that way when you hook it back up, you match everything up. You also need to make sure you document the power connections, so that way you know what goes where there as well. Once you've done all that, you should be ready to disconnect everything and install your new unit. So first we want to unplug the power brick, and then disconnect it from inside the box. Next, we'll want to disconnect the zones. Just loosen the terminals so you can remove the wires. Okay, so once I removed the bottom 3 screws from this box, I was having problems getting the top part disconnected. I couldn't figure out why. It's usually the simplest answer. And I think all we have to do is lift off. Yeah, just have to lift this box off. And there's a screw holding it here, or attached initially here on this hanger. So take a look at this, see if that might be how your controller is attached to the wall. If it is, then that's how you get it off. Included in your Rachio 3 box is this handy dandy installation manual. On the back of this manual, you have a mounting template. So what you'll want to do is just kind of unfold this where you want to place your Rachio controller, and then you'll know exactly where to put the holes. The next step is we want to take this cover off this Rachio unit. So you do that this way. It's just a magnet that holds it in place. And then you can see here, this also aligns with the template, just these 3 screws that hold this unit onto the wall. I think we're going to probably install it right in this area. As you can see from the old controller, these wires are longer than they need to be. I'm going to go ahead and leave the length as long as they are and just kind of fold this in place. But these ends that are exposed, this is where the installation stripped, I'm actually going to trim these back because you just need to insert these in here. So if you can see here, there's a lot of wire that's exposed. So I'm going to take that back out, cut this off, show you how this works here. To about there, and then put the wire in. Once the wires are put in, then we just need to power it on. After that, then what we'll do is we'll have to set up the application on the phone and continue with the installation. Setting up the Rachio app is a really straightforward process. Once you download the app to your phone, you'll just need to create an account and then get your controller connected to your Wi-Fi network. All you have to do to get it connected to your network is follow the on-screen prompts, and the Rachio app will guide you through that process. Once your controller is connected to your network, you'll need to go through and set up each of your zones. At this stage, you'll have to refer back to the documentation that you created in the previous step before you removed your old controller, so that way you'll know what information you need to put into the Rachio app. The zone information you put in, combined with the weather information it gets from the internet, helps make sure your yard is watered just right. Once you answer all the information for each of the zones, then you'll have to set up a schedule, and Rachio will take it from there. So all in all, we really like the Rachio 3 sprinkler system. We think it's a really great value. In fact, we know it's already saved us some money because we had a period of time where we had a lot of rain and the sprinkler system suppressed the watering. And so we know that we saved some money there because we didn't have to unnecessarily water the lawn when a normal sprinkler controller would have gone ahead and done it anyway because it doesn't know any better. Another thing we really like about the Rachio 3 is the fact that you can control it from your smartphone. Not only can you control the schedule from your smartphone, but you can also manually turn on zones for a set amount of time. That's in addition to the schedule that you have set up. So for example, a part of our lawn we reseeded because we had some bald spots, and we turned on the water sprinkler a couple of additional times to make sure that our lawn was nice and watered for those areas.